We're going to take a look at the live view feature on the EOS 50D now. Now this is a really great feature because you can look directly through the back of the camera, and that's really advantageous when you're taking shots on very low angle. Say you would need a delay on the ground. Well, you don't need to do that anymore because you can see through the back of the camera. Or ultimate high angle shots where you're holding it over your head and looking down like this. So that really makes it convenient to do those shots because you don't have to look through the viewfinder in the back of the camera. Sort of something that's been brought over from the point and shoot series, but is much more difficult to do with a DSLR. So on the back of the camera, let's take a look. You're going to be using your rotating control dial, the set button in the center, and your multi-position controller to go ahead and set the menu settings on live view first off. And here's our live view button here, the small camera. That's how we turn it on. So let's take a look. First I'm going to press my menu button, and then we go ahead and take a look directly from inside the camera. As I move around the menus with my multi-position control, I get to this little menu here, and we can see live view function settings. Go down to it, and then hit your set button in the center of the rotating command dial in the rear of the camera, and then go down to each one of these selections. So let's take a look at each one of these and what they are. To get into this, I'm going to press my set button over here. Now, live view shoot. Do you want to be able to take a picture while you have the live view on? Well, I do. That's why I'm putting it down to enable and hitting the set button. Exposure simulation. Go ahead and hit the set button to get into it. And this is enable and disable. This means, will the view on the back of the camera reflect the brightness of the image that you're taking, or will it just be fully bright all the time like you were looking through a video camera? If you want to be able to just see exactly, is this camera going to take a little bit of a dark picture, or is the exposure correct, you'll want to enable the exposure simulation. I'm going to leave it on disable. Grid display, very simply on and off. Actually two different types, but it allows you to put a gradical or grid paper in the back of the viewer if you're taking landscape pictures, or if you're taking pictures of architecture. It's very important that the camera is very much horizontal to the image that you're taking. And I've certainly fallen in this hole before when I shot, say, in New Orleans architectural shots. You want to have this grid put in front so that you can really tell that the camera's level. I'm going to leave that off for the time being. Silent mode over here. This is, let's hit the set button. We see that we have two different ways to shoot silently. The first one will actually enable you to press the shutter button down and take multiple images. It's the default mode over here. Mode 2 is a little bit quieter, but it only allows you to take a single image. So you're going to find out that that operates slightly differently. When you hold the shutter halfway down, it takes the picture. When you follow through, and then it disables the camera for a moment. So it's going to end up being a little bit quieter than mode 1, but it does not allow you to take continuous images. And then, of course, you can disable it fully. I'm going to leave it on the default mode 1. Now, the metering timer is how long the meters in the camera, the exposure meters, stay on. I'm going to hit set. 16 seconds is the default. This is a sort of battery saving decision that you're going to have to make here, because the longer that the meters are on, the more power is used. And of course, in live view, we're using extra power to light up the LCD viewer in the back. So 16 is the default. AF mode over here, quick mode. This is important. Quick mode's the default over here, and that's going to be where we're going to land up pressing the AF on button in the back of the camera, which I'm going to show you. It's going to focus, but it's going to interrupt your view while you press the focus. Live mode is it's going to focus while you're watching without interrupting it, and live L is where it detects faces in the image and focuses on those. So let's take a look at the back of the camera again. And we're going to go ahead and get out of the menus, and we're going to press the live view over here. And all of a sudden, you're going to see it come up on the back of the screen. And let's take a look directly in the camera. Take a look at that again. You can see that we can move the camera around. We're actually looking just like we're looking through a video camera. And when we zoom around and such, it's going to act just like that. Focus is going to act. There's manual focus. Now, let's take a look again at the back of the camera. This AF on button is what you're going to press to make the camera focus at this point if you're in the regular quick mode focusing. Let's take a look through the camera again, and you're going to see while I press it, it interrupts the image for a second while it focuses, and you hear it beep to tell you it's focused. Bam, you're back, and you're ready to take a picture by hitting the shutter button and following through, and now we've got the picture frozen on the screen. Remember that that is going to operate differently if you're in the live view mode. It's not going to interrupt your field of view while it's focusing. So that's it, live view mode on the 50D. What a great feature. Remember, it does use a little more power, so use it judiciously when you're in those high and low angle shots, and you won't have to lay on the ground or get on top of something and hold the camera above your head and still see the shot that you're taking.